Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
And
And we are here to rant and rave with our matching pink pinched shoulder tops.
I know we both have little pinched shoulders.
I'm really into this shoulder sleeve look.
I always have been. I feel like I try to bring it back every year, whether it's in or not.
Yes.
You know why, Jessica? Because at least it's a sleeve.
Thank you.
How many times am I gonna complain about sleeves? Oh my God, but it's true.
One at that.
Ah, thanks. I also recently purchased. I don't often buy myself a lot of jewelry because I can make it usually. But I have had my eye on this necklace. It was at one of our favorite little stores over on Magnolia, Mindful Nest.
Yeah.
I've had my eye on this necklace for almost a year. It's got little rainbow rhinestones and then carvings for the sun. It just makes me feel happy. And finally, I was like, Dana, you're not destitute. It's $32.
Thank
you
you.
work hard and you can buy yourself a stupid necklace.
Yes.
So I did.
I'm so happy.
Very happy about it. I've worn it a lot. It makes me happy.
I'm so glad to hear that and that you did that. I used to always get so sad when customers would feel guilty when I would say, "Oh, would you like this gift wrapped?" And they'd be like, no, it's for me." I'm like, "Would you still like it gift wrapped?" Like I was kidding.
Yeah,
but
no
I'm
joke.
like, "That's a gift to you." I said, "Why are you feeling bad about that?" And it was always the kind of ladies that were always in there buying stuff for their friends, their moms, their mother-in-laws, their husbands, secretary, whatever it is.
Yes.
I'm like, you don't need to feel bad, and you wear that proudly.
Yeah, I went in there and did it. I love that store anyway, and I was like, you're supporting local business and local artists.
Yep. I love that, and I love the owner.
About
She's
that.
super cool.
I know, and everybody that works there is always so nice, too.
Yep.
It's a great store. But I was thinking about that the other day, so I'll ask you about your week soon, but I'm going to plunge into mine just because it's relative to this.
Please.
So, I went to the farmer's market on Saturday in La Crescenta, and it was just so lovely. And I posted pictures on my Instagram, my personal Instagram. Hey, went to the farmer's market today, got some lovely treats, And this was not like the Hollywood farmer's market where everybody's they're not hurting for business in Hollywood or in LA County, right? But La Crescenta is a little further out. And it just was like family, like every booth, they wanted to interact with you personally. They gave you samples. And so I made this post and I said, support local farmers, support local growers, support local farmers market. And I was thinking about that, just like we just said, support small business, That's not something I even thought about ever growing up. Ever.
Because you had it already?
I don't know why. It's not something... I don't think so. We went to Walmart. That was our only option. I don't even remember there being farmers markets in town. I don't remember hearing about those. Now I know I've moved away from Missouri, and I do know that they do have them now. It's kind of a she little hobby thing. Whereas out here, it's like, no, that's where we get our food.
But
anyway,
wait, I'm fascinated. I always think of Missouri as like this
agricultural. Yeah. Never been to a farmer's market till I moved to LA.
Huh. I'm just surprised. Or I picture there'd be a ton of roadside stands.
No, not really. Now more, but not before. I remember the first time I went to the farmer's market, I think it was the Grove, which is it's not like a quintessential farmer's market. It's always there, but it is always fresh and coming from the farms. And I remember walking through there and going, this is beautiful. beautiful. I don't even know what the vegetable is. Like, can I tell you what I ate? And then I'll move on and ask you about
Yes,
your week. Um,
please.
but can I tell you, we went to this one stall. This guy had
Mhm.
this farm, and so he had olives. He had this amazing almond crunch butter, organic, like with
Yum.
cinnamon in it and coconut water. Like,
Mhm.
anyway, he had raw almonds, and I mean still in the husk, like
Never even
green.
seen them like that.
I hadn't either. Green in a pod. And so we took a video of him with me. I was dressed as Zinnia.
Love it.
And
I
we
love
took a
it.
video and he goes, "We're going to do this together." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "You take the pod and we go like this, okay?" And we both put it in our mouth. He goes, "Now yeah, bite down." And it split in two. And then he goes, "See, this is the meat. This is the nut. Now we eat the whole thing." And I go, "The whole thing? Pod and all?" And he's like, "Yes, yes, it's good for you, help with cholesterol." And yeah, yes, yes. So we did. And I'm chewing and I'm like, and he goes, "Do you hate me yet?" I said, "No." I said, "No, I don't hate you, but it is a little sour." He goes, "I like it."
Oh my. What was the
But that was
pod like,
cool.
hard or soft?
It was soft, but it was fuzzy like a peach. It was green and
Ooh.
fuzzy like a peach and very easy to chew. But, like, if you knocked on it on the outside, it felt hard, like, it really protects that nut
Weird.
inside. And then also I had a green plum, which I had never had, it was about this big.
Ooh.
Also, it tasted like a miniature, Granny Apple Smith apple is what it
Stop
tasted
it.
like. Like a bright crunch,
I
a
need it.
sharp bit of a sour, taste,
Mhm.
but still sweet, um,
Yes.
kind of like a sour God's candy, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, anyway,
Interesting.
really, really lovely time. Also, real quick, I
I love that.
went to a canyon jam on Saturday, and,
I'm so
it was the
jealous.
night
That looked like
before
a
night
ball.
before oh my god, night before Mother's Day. Mama went out, saw her
Mhm.
friends in a band play on a balcony off a cliff
Yep.
overlooking the entire valley.
I love
Whenever I
it.
go to the Canyon Jam, it makes me feel like I have been transported into when Laurel Canyon was like Laurel Canyon, when the mamas and papas were
Yes.
spending the night with Eric Clapton and they were jamming through
Uh-huh.
the night in the canyon.
That's
That's
right.
exactly what I feel like whenever I go to the Canyon Jam. And I
Amazing.
never leave there without meeting new people that I just adore. It was so fun. I'm very much mostly like to be a cloistered hermit. And until the second I get to a party, I will dread going so hard that I want to cry. We were maybe the last 10 people to leave. So
I
stuck
love
around,
it.
talked to the band, talked to Brother Sal about his trip on a train. Like, come on now. It was just a ball. Just a ball.
Brother
And the sad
Sal.
thing is, Dan Tipton was supposed to go with me. I've been to 4 Canyon Jams
Oh,
over
wow.
the years. My friend CJ is in a band. CJ Vanna. He
Mhm.
was in Whiplash. You'd probably recognize him from commercials. He's lovely. He's
Mhm.
in a band. They perform out at bars and stuff. And then a couple times a year, they'll have a canyon jam. One of the guys lives up in the canyon. Sometimes the
Mhm.
cops show up and go, "Guys, keep it down." I'm winking for those of you not watching. Keep it down. It's just lovely. They're all cooks and stuff. They bring all this Italian food. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It was beautiful.
Ooh, I
So that was
love
my
it.
pre-Mother's Day, and then my boys spoiled me on Mother's Day and let me sleep and do nothing, just brought food to my face while I laid in bed and watched
Yes.
iPad. Like, it
Beautiful
was a good weekend.
flowers.
Beautiful flowers, yes. Yeah, I'm a
Your
lucky
husband
lady.
always gets beautiful he really
Ugh,
does good with them
he does
flower
good.
arrangements.
Always. They're
Uh-huh.
beautiful. Also, living in California, it's hard to lose. We're so lucky.
Yep. I know,
Our
right?
flowers our flowers are like,
It's
who
crazy.
who created that?
I know.
Who create did God make that or did we hybrid that? That's incredible. So that's fun. How was your week?
It was fine. Got my hair cut and colored for the first time in
It
almost a
looks
year.
stunning. I
Thank
love
you.
your hair
I
anyway. You complain about your hair all the time. It's so beautiful and thick and curly and lovely. Whatever.
eh,
But right now you look stunning.
you're very kind. I looked like a sea hag.
No,
I
stop
even
being mean to my friend.
my hairdresser goes, "Did are you didn't go to someone else for color since I last saw you?" I think because My hair was so off. I said, "No, Joe, I haven't been to anyone since you." Like, I think I was there in September. But anyways, I felt great. Okay. It was a delight to everybody knows that when you get to
Just be
go and just,
pampered.
yes, it's very
Yeah.
nice. And I was the only one there. He met me on a Sunday, which God bless him. He doesn't usually work on Sundays. And I'm like, hey, I know it's a really off chance. If you have any cancellations between now and Tuesday at this time, can you please let me know? And he's like, how's Sunday at 4? I'm like, God, I love you.
Oh my gosh. So
So,
nice. Well, you look amazing.
oh, well, you're really sweet. I don't think
Hmm.
anything else exciting happened. I will say this. I
That's
don't remember
interesting.
if I already mentioned it. What?
Well, I'm just saying that's interesting. Your husband texted
Oh,
me last night. He
about
caught a
what?
lot of fish. How is that
Oh,
not
that wasn't with
reported?
me. Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure. I should talk about that. So, um, Alan went on a deep sea fishing excursion with his
He sent me
cousins.
pictures so I could show Henry, and we were like, "What?
Could he believe it? Wasn't it crazy how many
No."
fish?
Yes, and they didn't even keep all of them, and still, he said had probably 30 pounds in fillets.
Yep. So when he came back, the night he came back, he made the day that they caught him, he just like quickly like pan seared them. So they were just simple, like salt and pepper. That's it. So you're just tasting the freshest fish ever, like caught that day,
Oh, wow.
no flash freezing, nothing. And then last night, ay Dios mío, day night, he made fresh ceviche.
No,
And
thank
I'm
you, but I
telling
get it.
you, it rivaled any one that I've ever had at a good restaurant. Outstanding.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
absolutely outrageous. So yeah, you cannot compare, just like you're saying, buying the farmer's market vegetables where most of those have dirt on them. They pulled them out of the ground that
Yes,
morning,
my
literally
strawberries
at
had
like
dirt on
4 in the
them.
morning.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
This fish was caught straight out, no weird delay, and there's no fishiness because it hasn't sat and rotted or anything else.
Yes,
There's
yes,
no
or it's not
fishy
in muddy
smell or
river
taste.
water. Yes, yes.
Yes. It was outstanding. So, oh my God, what a treat.
Yeah, no
What a
joke.
treat.
Well, you all know how what a picky eater I am. I mean, as soon as you said ceviche,
Yes.
I was like, "No, thank you." I eat like a toddler. I bought, dates. Dates or
Hmm.
figs, I can't remember, they're in there, with a
Do
walnut
they
in
look
them
like
and
dead
then sugared and
roaches?
cooked. Yes, yes. With dead
Dates.
roaches that you've opened up and you can see the meat inside. That's what it looks like. They
Dates.
are when you talk God's candy, that's what I think. My mom used to try and sell that white melon to me. What's that white melon? Cantaloupe and
Honeydew?
honeydew was God's candy in my house.
Love
Listen,
it.
I don't mind some honeydew, but them dates with a walnut in it, that's some God's candy right there. That tastes
Okay.
like you're eating cake.
Uh, if you ever find yourself in the area or vicinity of Palm Springs or Morongo, the middle of nowhere in the desert casino on the way to
Yes.
Palm
That
Springs,
sometimes has, like, Air Supply come perform there? Yes, I know what you're talking about.
yes, yes,
Yes!
let's go Morongo.
Yep.
You need to get yourself a Southern California desert date shake. It's
Ooh.
incredible. A milkshake made with dates. And I always get the date banana because I love bananas. And as I'm saying this, I realize you're lactose intolerant. And no, you can't have the date shake. I apologize. I'm sorry. I
Well,
rescind what I
I can
said.
take Lactaid. I can take Lactaid for special
Oh, you can
occasions.
take like a pill before. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
then I
yeah.
beg you to get that date shake.
That sounds
It's
good.
incredible. It's incredible. And it's just very I never saw it anywhere else other than the desert in California. You don't even see it around LA or anything. They're incredible. And there's this huge stand from a family farm called Hadley's where they sell like dried nuts, dried fruits, all this stuff. And they're famous for the date shake. It's next door to
Ugh.
Morongo. I beg you
Well,
to get a date
I
shake.
got, I love olives. I buy olives quite a bit. I just love them.
Yes.
all different kinds. And
Mhm.
I bought a mix of olives with like Kalamata, green, like all these.
Mhm.
He had stacks this tall all the way across the table of different
Ooh.
kinds of olives. And I love olives even from just Trader Joe's. I really, really
Yes.
enjoy them. But I
Absolute
got to tell you, like we said earlier, there was something fresh, like something about these olives that's
Yep.
just. Okay, we have to stop
It's
talking about
different.
food before I eat my own fingers. Jessica, would you like
Hilarious.
to tell people how to get a hold of us?
Oh, yeah, why not? Sure. Hey, guys, please find us at the Rants and Raves podcast on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us on TikTok at the Rants and Raves P. Please go to our YouTube channel. We're going to keep touting that. Give us a watch, a
Yes.
follow, a like, a subscribe. We have shorts put up there all the time, as well as our full length episodes. So we are really moving towards the future of YouTube. So please join the train.
Hmm.
Additionally, you can send us an email anytime you like, and many of you did. In fact, most of this week's episode came from listeners. We love you for
Awesome.
that. Send us rants, raves, corners, hellos, goodbyes, anything you want, anything in between at the rants and raves podcast at gmail.com. Also, you can go to the contact button on our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. Thank you. And Dana, take it away. I believe you're up first for rants this
I
week.
am up first for rants. This is from a listener. I'm going to try and do it justice. There's a lot of caps in here, a lot of all caps. So get ready. Ready?
Yep.
From a listener. People that don't wear headphones during virtual/online meetings. We all have
Mm-mm.
headphones these days, either wired or not. I cannot understand why some people just don't use them during virtual or online meetings. Meetings like this are the perfect environment to ensure that the information being passed along is very understood and gets everyone on the same page. We're shifting into all caps. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait! Nancy doesn't think so. She wants to listen to the meeting on her computer speakers and talk through the microphone on her computer. This
Oh
always
boy, Nancy.
leads. Oh, Nancy. Everyone's mad at you, Nancy. They're just not saying
Mhm,
it, okay?
mhm.
This always leads to either an echo for the people speaking or Nancy constantly interrupting people because she can't hear them over her own brain trying to function. As
Quite
someone
right.
who has to be on a meetings a lot, especially during the middle of the week, this has bothered me for the longest time. I can tell. I don't blame you either. I don't mind. I don't mind if people do it once in a while. Sure, we've all been there when we forget our headphones on the meeting. It was scheduled 10 minutes ago and we're not at home. But
Mhm,
typically, people in those cases are aware enough to mute themselves and speak up when there is a silence. I just
mhm.
wish that people would understand more the others on these calls, more about them. Sorry. I just wish that people would understand more about the others on these calls and be considerate of everyone. There's not even a period at the end of this. Just be considerate, okay? It doesn't need a period. It's an open ended
No.
thing that we always should be doing, okay? Because
Yes.
when you don't have, also when you don't have, she doesn't, this person doesn't even, I don't know if this is a man or a woman, I just said she, but this person doesn't even mention like this. And this is what gets me. When you don't have headphones on, whether you are on
Mhm.
your phone, your computer, what it doesn't matter. If you touch anything, I hear.
Yep.
If you move and your shoulder goes by here, to you it's like no sound. To me, it goes. It's rude.
It's very jarring. Like I always jolt when there's a
I don't
noise
want to
like
hear your
that.
neighbor's gardener because then I'm
Uh-huh.
going, please stop. I wish the gardener hadn't showed up. It's not even my gardener. It's not my house. It's not even yours. But I sure am thinking about it instead of my meeting. Just put in some headphones. Nobody, right? Because then nobody can hear it as bad. To me, it seems like maybe I'm wrong. I'm not science. Ist.
No.
I'm not a scientist. I am technically science. I think we all are magical science somehow. But anyway,
Science.
But I think when you put in
Science-ish.
headphones, then it does stop some noise. It tamps
Yes.
down some extra I don't know the lingo. Audio is not my profession. It tamps
Feedback,
down some of the feedback, outside noise,
reverberation,
whatever. You guys know.
interference.
You get it. You get
I'm
it.
shocked that you don't
Nancy!
know, because you're somebody who I feel like would, one of your bucket list things would be to have a earpiece in and be sitting in a van trying to tap into hearing some creep that they're trying to track, some criminal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would love that. I would
Yes.
love to be in like a mid to late 90s movie van where they're spying on somebody inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're
with
made
all
for
these
that.
with all these screens that just have color bars and you don't know why.
Yes,
I don't know that those
100%.
exist anymore.
I
I
know.
think that there's like microorganism robots that fly through the air now and go up our
I know.
nose, and they even know what we're going to think before we think it. It's like Minority Report at this time.
Oh my God,
That's what, in
these
my
people.
mind, what's happening.
I have
No,
to jump on.
Nancy's got to get it together, right?
Yes. Well, I've worked with many Nancys and Neds, if you will. And let me tell
Hmm.
you something. One of them used to have all of his calls on speaker and everybody would go nuts. And this person would walk through the office and we would be like, "You're shouting and nobody wants
On
to
a
hear your
cell phone?
call." Uh-huh. We already
Oh
don't want
no,
to hear you
unacceptable.
talking. I surely don't want to hear the person on the other side either.
Of course not.
You can't do that when
Yeah,
you are
you
in a
can't do
shared
that.
environment.
Well, and I think that there are a lot of the elderly generation, which means a couple of days
Mhm.
older than me. Uh, no, but like they all listen to their cell phones and stuff on speakerphone, thinking, "Oh,
Full
it's louder.
blast.
It'll be easier for me to comprehend." But the fact of the matter is, whatever that the reverberation or it is not easier to understand. I
No.
promise you, because there's
Yes.
there's echoey, there's air, like it just is not. I promise you, try it once, put it up to your ear, don't be a bitch about it, just go, I'm legitimately gonna try this and not let my
Uh-huh.
own thoughts intrude. I'm gonna
Yes.
perform my own experiment here. I promise you it will sound better, unless your fucking phone is old. Go get a new phone. Okay, I don't want to
Okay.
pay the price for you not wanting to spend money on a phone. I don't want to be inconvenienced because I went and bought the right phone. And you can buy $5 headphones. Jessica and I know this. We've both done it. They're not great, but we've done it.
Not
It's
great.
just inconsiderate.
Hilarious.
And I want to tell
Yes.
you, I want to say legitimately, it's not easier to understand when you're on speaker. It's just not. You may be telling
No.
yourself that because it's open and out and loud, but it's too garbled. You will hear better if
Also,
you just, in-
they yell to match
yeah,
back the volume of which they are
yes.
listening to something.
Even though
That's the other problem. It's like,
their mouth is centimeters from that microphone.
touch or touching it.
Oh,
It
can you
makes
imagine
me
who they're talking to? Is
insane.
like, oh God, I can't. Hey,
Can I imagine? Yeah, I'm usually the person.
you're the person.
Trust me, I've been on the other end many a times. I will remain nameless. Those folks guilty as
Ugh.
charged.
Listener, we are
Phew.
on your side. Phew.
We are
And
so
also,
on your side.
those all caps, the all caps, very well
Love it.
deserved, very
That's why I
necessary.
gave it to Dana. No one can read all
Yes.
caps like Dana Powell. I'm serious. Anytime there's a listener rant with all caps, I'm like, well, I'm going to let Dana read this one because it's
Oh, I
definitely going to be funnier than if
I
I
pay
read it.
that mind. I pay that mind because it's there for a
I
reason.
love it.
So we're gonna show it. Yeah.
I love it.
All right, you're up
Well, this
next.
gem, this is
Yes.
Sarah, a listener who sent us in another recent rave that we did. Uh, yes, rave and rant. Today, both rants come from her. Also, that woman sent a whole tutorial to us specifically for Dana to pass on to her father. If you remember, Dana was talking about the little cat cap nail claw
Yes.
things. She sent
Yes.
a whole thing for Dana to forward on
It
to her
was
family
so
about that.
informational. I sent it to my family. Yes.
Yep.
It was so
So
like
thank you,
good
Sarah.
information. Thank you.
So good. So I glommed onto this rant because holy SH, I felt like I wrote it myself. Okay. I can really
Okay.
relate. Sure, Dana can too. In fact, I know she can. Not being appreciated for well known skills.
Ugh,
Hmm,
man.
that rings very reminiscent and true.
Yeah.
This happened to me today during a meeting, and Lord, did it bother me a ton. I work in a department where I know the majority of the people, and they all know me, and I do on the daily. I'm known for my ability to communicate and provide information for ongoing issues and situations in our department. One way that I've accomplished this is through spreadsheets. I've learned so many things over the last 2 years about Google Sheets, AppScript,
Oof,
a way to use Java coding to control your Google Sheets. Wow, girl, you already lost me. Just
that
kidding. I know what
stuff
you're
is
talking about, but I don't know
hard.
how to do that. Yeah.
Me neither.
And a bunch of other things. I've shared my spreadsheets to so many teams, and it's become a staple to my direct team. However, today, during a meeting with a side team that I'm also a member of, it was called out that two other members were, quote, wizards at spreadsheets and were tasked to do something that I could have done within a day, likely within an hour. My skills and knowledge were never brought up, and these two other people were tasked with completing this request. I definitely have enough on my plate, don't get me wrong, but at least receiving some type of acknowledgement of my skills and ability to possibly help in this situation would have been nice. I help
Yes.
everyone constantly with their issues, questions, and concerns, and rarely get acknowledged for the amount of time I spend doing these things. At this point, I'd love even just a verbal acknowledgement of any of these
Oh,
things. Girl, I
man.
cannot
Yeah.
apologize to you enough on behalf of
Enough.
your coworkers. And I feel you so hard. I think that is one of the most infuriating things to
Yes.
happen, whether it's um in an office setting, in a creative setting where there's groups or
Yes.
teams that bounce ideas around, and suddenly Joe Schmo said something and you're pinching your friend or trying not to swallow your tongue thinking, I pitched that joke last week and nobody batted an
Oh,
eye.
I'll
And
tell
now
you,
that Joe
when it
Schmo
comes
said
to
it,
when it comes to joke pitching, not to make this gender specific, but a lady can pitch a joke a million times and nobody
uh huh,
hears it, but then a guy pitches
sure.
that same joke and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, it's the
So I'm
funniest.
that we're trying to fix that. I don't know how well that's going, but I
Okay.
get it. And also the fact, like, I love that they recognize. Listen, I've got a lot on my plate. Like, they're
Mm-hmm.
not saying, "Hey, I want that responsibility. Don't take that away."
Right.
It's just the acknowledgement of, like, "Hey, I started this helpful thing for everyone. Can that at
Yes.
least be mentioned?
Right.
They're wizards because I implemented this."
Yep.
Why would I not be the
I'd just like to
Gandalf?
thank
You're just,
Sarah. I'm
yeah, I'm
serious.
the
Like you're the
Gandalf.
boss. I'd like to
Sarah
thank
is,
Sarah for implementing this communication and amount of
yes,
information to everyone in a very succinct manner. Thank you.
because for an analogy, Sarah is the Gandalf, the Dumbledore. Those other people are beneath them. Are,
They're the
Frodo
ogres.
and yes, and they're not to say that they're not as helpful. That's why I said Frodo, not ogres. Great, that's going to be helpful. But, like, hey, let's pay some mind to the person who implemented this system in the first
Yes.
place. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't that hard. It's words of appreciation,
Yep.
it's gratitude for going the extra mile.
Mm-hmm. We've been
And
talking
now
about
it
this a
seems
lot
like,
lately.
well, because it's a severe American problem. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
I've been listening so much lately as an adult to what other countries feel about us, what other countries think about us.
Mhm.
Comparison, other countries are blown away that we don't get holiday. We don't just
Yep.
get a couple of months off, that we have to ask for time off, that things like this happen in our workplaces and we
Mm-hmm.
stay. Like they're blown
Yes.
away. It's a very
Yes.
severe, I'm sure it happens in other countries, just not as much. It's a
Mm-hmm.
real problem in America. Nobody
It's
appreciates.
huge.
But then they want to
And
turn
the
around and
little
go, don't raise minimum wage. They already don't want to work. Well, they don't want to work
Yep,
because you're rude to them and you don't show
totally.
appreciation for the skills that they bring to the table. This seems like this was a skill this person brought to the table that wasn't a requirement of the
Mm-hmm.
job. That's above and beyond.
Exactly.
And that doesn't deserve acknowledgement. Eat a poop taco because it does.
It's also the easiest and
So easy.
costs you nothing. So
Yeah.
we've talked about this even in recent weeks. I go out of my way every time that I am somewhere working at a client or in their shop, in their place of business, to acknowledge the staff and to point out things with people who are doing a good job, or say, hey,
Hmm.
I noticed that you wrapped that gift that was in the back. That looks amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
really? Or I say, hey, I appreciate that you texted me the other day letting me know we're out of such and such. You don't understand how helpful that is to me, and I can get ahead of it and order it without it taking another week before the next time I'm in. And it's so simple, but people get so excited over
Yeah.
just you being nice and saying hello to them and a simple acknowledgement. So please do that. God dang it, I did that for
It's
so many
so
years. I know what that's like to not be acknowledged.
It's so easy. And also, I just want to say this: I would much rather have sincere words of appreciation and gratitude
Yep.
and thankfulness than a $5 gift card to Starbucks. Okay.
Thank
When
you.
I worked at a factory, we busted our asses for 12 hours every single night, and then we turned around and did it
Mm-hmm.
again the next day. And one year,
Mm-hmm.
as a I was the rebel college student that caused problems, so I got in trouble a lot. But one year,
Mm-hmm.
we had turned in so much product, like we hit a goal that had
Mm-hmm.
never been hit before. And our
Yep.
reward was a chocolate candy bar with peanuts in it. And
Shut
I
up.
said to my whole department, what do they think we are, fucking elephants? I'd rather have money. You made money and you gave me a
Uh-huh.
candy bar. You made money off
Uh-huh.
my work and you gave me a candy bar like I'm an elephant at the circus. And at that
Uh-huh.
point, we didn't even have elephants in the circus anymore. So I was beneath that. But of course, I got a talking to for being an upriser
Hilarious.
in the department. But don't tell
I
people we're
love
treating
it.
them like elephants.
Right.
Don't tell people we're treating them like elephants. He said that to me.
Also, what pisses me off is that is the least they could have done, not as your bonus, but as a, hey guys, we're just going to throw out some snacks. Like our
You
friend
guys,
Darren, when we had our office, he at least once a month would go and just
no,
disappear and then come back an hour later and he'd be like,
we
hey
had none of
everybody,
that.
there's some treats set up in the break room. We'd go in and he'd have a damn ice cream social for us. You know how
Come
nice that
on.
was?
That's so nice. Not us. We never had anything. And y'all, we weren't out there making coonskin caps, okay? I was making circuit boards for Motorola and NASA.
Okay.
I was building, I was putting
I'm
components
dying.
in
I'm
circuit
dying.
boards for Motorola and NASA, and I got a freaking chocolate peanut candy bar. I was so
Are,
infuriated. And I was
are
young
you
and sassy
responsible
and
for Hello Moto?
what is that? What
Hello
is that?
Moto. Whenever you would open the
Oh yeah.
Motorola, didn't it go Hello
I never
Moto?
I never had a Motorola. I just built them.
Me neither. Oh. I'm not only the president, I'm also a client.
Anyway, excellent. Those were great rants.
I know. Thank you,
We just
Sarah.
talked. We
That
just
the
Yeah,
best.
because we just talked even last week. I said, we've got to find in our country again
Yes.
compassion and
Compassion.
kindness because we were
Yes.
talking about managers not treating people well.
Yep.
That's another thing in other countries. They side for their employees. Like I think I sent this to you. A guy was talking about American tourists, and he goes,
Mm-hmm.
"Think about it. The way that the American system financially is set up. Think about who can travel over here to see us. It's not the normal American. It's a little higher financial status, a little what's the word I'm looking for? Expectant, entitled, rude, just ask for whatever they want whenever they want and demand to get it because they have money." He said, when you come over here and you act like a brat in a restaurant, that manager will say, no, you need to leave. Don't treat my employees this way. We don't do that. That's the difference. But our entire country runs on squeaky wheel gets the oil. And sometimes that's just not right. Sometimes squeaky wheel needs to be shut up and dismantled. Okay? No more wheeling for you. You lost use of your wheel. It's just interesting. Start looking at it. Start looking at what's happening.
That was not a toilet flushing. That was the garbage truck that sounded like a Star Wars spaceship was landing on Andor.
I don't know what was happening. All I know is your eyes were huge, but you were saying yes to me. And I was like, is someone kidnapping her? Did Alan have explosive diarrhea and she doesn't know what to do? Like, I knew something was going on.
It was so loud. I'm like, she's gonna kill. I cannot explain how loud. And I thought I muted it, but apparently not.
Well, I just heard a little bit that I thought was a toilet flushing. That's where the diarrhea came
No.
in. Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I just want to tell you that you're very bad at being inconspicuous. I don't want to be rude, but but your face told all.
Yeah. It's true. I think we've mentioned that before. I used to get called out a lot because I would show my disdain during improv shows off from the side. And
Oh,
apparently
really?
it was written all over my face about how I felt about whatever was going on stage. Kind of like
Oh,
this.
yeah. That's what was happening just now. Just giant eyes, wide open mouth, and a yes. I
Uh-huh.
was like, do I need to call 911?
Oh God, sorry, y'all.
Okay. Well, a staple of our show is the cleansing breath. I have had a lot of people message me personally recently saying, thank you for the cleansing breath. So I'm glad that we've been
Oh,
consistent about it. It really does help. And
yes.
a lot of times people are listening to us on their way to something else. Just take a
Mm-hmm.
second, okay? We like to rant out the silliness, get out the all caps emails, and then we
Yes.
take a deep breath in, blow out all the frustration for you, for us, and we want you to do it with us, and then we fill up the rest of the time with
Yes.
silliness, goodness, some raves, whatever.
That's
So
right.
if you can scream it out, please do. I know some of you want to scream it out so bad. So one day I just want you to plan for that. Just take yourself behind a dumpster somewhere and just go, today's the day I scream my brains out with Dana and Jessica. Do that for yourself. Maybe not a dumpster, it might stink, but somewhere private. All right, are you
They
ready,
literally
Jess?
just dumped my dumpster.
Oh no. Well, here we go.
Let's
Are
do
you
it.
ready?
Uh-huh.
Jessica, can you make a promise to me today? Friend to friend,
To, to close my eyes.
and keep them there.
Oh, fine.
I just want you to know what it feels like. I want you to feel what it's like to
Okay,
be
okay.
normal. I'm just kidding.
That's
There's
really
nothing
hard.
normal about me. I know. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath in
Mhm.
and ooh, lovely.
I really
Proud
did
of you,
it.
Jessica. Unless I go back when I'm editing.
Thank
Goodness,
you.
it was hard for you.
It really
It's hard
was.
for you. When I go back through editing, if I see
Uh-huh.
that you have opened your eyes, I will send you another video where I scream and tell you you're a monster, because that happened last week. You
I
told
kept
me
them
you were going to
closed the
close your
whole
eyes.
I know.
I
I
have,
couldn't.
do I need to post that video of you opening that one eye like a creepazoid? I might. I might. We'll see. You better watch it, girl. We're about to travel together.
Amazing.
You better
I
watch
know.
it.
I know. I love
You're
it.
so funny to me. Okay, I love recording with you. It always makes me happy. All
Same.
right, I'm up first. I'm up first for corners, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are my lips peeling off my face? Ew, I just
Uh,
pulled a chunk of my lips off. Should I edit that?
Ooh,
That's gross. You know
oh.
why? It's because I drank alcohol this weekend and my body's like, why would you do that, you grandma?
Oh.
Y'all, I
Well,
did
my
3
rave
shots of
today will help
Jameson.
with that.
I know, I saw that. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
My corner is, oh wow. It's an oh wow corner. It says, wine me, dine me, please come find me. I don't know. I'm not mad at that. It's a little cute,
Get your mind
Jessica.
out of the gutter, Dana.
Oh, okay. No. What if I was just like, no, everything's dirty to me. I want it dirty. Okay. This is from NPR. This is written
Mhm.
by Emily Olson. How wine and candy helped an Australian woman survive 5 days in the bushland. Okay, we might have to have a mindfulness update corner about this later because there's some stuff being revealed that's a little bit like, what? What?
Okay.
Did you get lost? Like, okay, but anyway, here we go. Here's the screenshot. I'm going to show you that this is the moment she was found. Look at her. That looks like from the 1970s, but it was just
Oh my
last week.
god, it really
Okay.
does.
Okay, a woman who went missing in the Australian wilderness after making a wrong turn survived for 5 days on wine and candy, local authorities say.
Sign me up.
I was like, I think I could survive on wine and candy.
Mhm.
The 48-year-old woman, who police identified in a press release as only Lillian, was rescued by helicopter on May 5th in the Mita Mita bushland and stretch of dense eucalyptus forest in the southeastern state of Victoria. Ooh, you would be miserable. I
Hope
love eucalyptus.
hopefully surrounded by koalas.
Aw, koalas. Lillian was driving towards Dartmouth Dam for a day trip from the nearby town of Bright when she hit a dead end road and realized she had made a wrong turn. As she tried to turn her car around, the vehicle became stuck in the mud. Without cell service, she was unable to call for help. Health issues made it difficult for her to try and walk, police said, but ultimately may have helped her survive as she was able to use the car heater overnight to stay warm in temperatures as
Oh.
low as 35 degrees. Oy, that's cold to me.
Mhm.
Planning
Yes.
for only a 2 hour drive, Lillian only had a few snacks, some candy, and a bottle of wine, which she had intended as a gift for her mother. Lillian doesn't drink, police said, but she eventually consumed the bottle, her only liquid. Lillian's family reported her missing on April 30th after she had failed to make a daily check in call. Local media outlet News 7 said the bad weather limited local authorities' ability to search by air.
Mm.
Quote, the area is so vast. If you can imagine, we're talking about hundreds of kilometers that Lillian might be in. We don't have a
Mhm.
starting point at the moment. Ooh, can you imagine? Lillian's
Oh, that's so
sister-in-law, they
freaky.
didn't know where to start. And that was on the 4th day of searching, he was saying that.
Right.
Ooh. Lillian's sister-in-law, Lisa, told News 7 that Lillian was unfamiliar with the area but excited to see it on her trip. Police said Lillian hailed from Cheltenham, a suburb of the city of Melbourne, about 160 miles to the southwest. After 5 days, police finally spotted her by helicopter, standing on a dirt road and waving her arms about. She was 37 miles away from the nearest town. Jeez.
Whoa.
Video of the rescue shows Lillian bending over in a gesture of sheer relief as police car approaches the ground. Quote, after being lost in the bush for 5 days, she was extremely relieved and grateful to see us, and we were happy to see her. Lillian was treated for dehydration in a nearby hospital, but otherwise appears to be healthy. Uh, Let me just say this. Like, yeah, it's funny. She survived on wine and candy. They found her. Everything's happy and good. Not for nothing. I watch a lot
Mhm.
of animal documentaries, and
Sure.
a lot of the most dangerous animals come from Australia.
Not a lot.
5
All.
days 5 days in the bush alone, that's no easy feat, I wouldn't think.
No.
Scorpions, snakes, love the koalas. They do have chlamydia. We're trying to fix it. Still a little bit. Oh,
The huntsman spiders that are this
ugh,
big. You can't
like
even
bigger than
see.
our
My arms are
heads. Yeah.
yes.
Hmm. So,
Crocodiles.
yes. Even in her car, I'm still like, that's an adventure I don't want.
Yes,
It's a little
totally.
bit scary. But they are
Yeah,
saying,
and
like,
she's
I've
lucky that
heard,
she was found.
yes, I've heard rumblings that maybe she wasn't. I don't know. We may have to do an a mindfulness corner later, but it is interesting. It is like she maybe had one more day. Am I wrong? Because she wasn't out trying to find water.
Well, that's the thing. I think water, like you can even survive on water for a certain amount of time with no food, but the not having water, I think
Water.
everything just starts to shut down in your body
Yeah,
and
that's
your
the quick
organs
killer.
become
It shuts your
dehydrated. Yeah.
organs. Yeah, it shuts your
Yep.
organs down. Anyway, pretty amazing. It is an oh wow corner for sure. I joke and say I'd
Right?
like to survive on wine and candy, but honestly, I wouldn't if anybody's listening. Whatever controls my destiny, please no.
Totally.
All right, your turn.
All right. This was sent to us by another Sarah, our friend in LA, Sarah. In this case, we have two
We
Sarahs
only
this
we're only friends
episode.
with Sarahs. If you're not a Sarah, we can't be your friend.
Hilarious. This is written by Camilla Domonsky for NPR News. Australia's man with the golden arm retires after saving 2.4 million babies.
I love this story.
Right?
Mhm.
James Harrison, an Australian man whose blood contains a rare antibody that can create a treatment that saves babies' lives, has donated plasma one last time. Harrison, 81, is now over the
Ugh,
age limit for donors. In fact, he hit the cap months ago. But the Australian Red Cross Blood Service let him donate one last time on Friday. The service estimates that over the course of his life, he has helped save some 2.4 million
million
babies.
babies.
It's crazy. Harrison, known as the man with a golden arm, has donated blood and plasma regularly for more than 6 decades, from age 18 to 81. All told, he donated 1,172 times, 1,162 times from his right arm, 10 from his left. I hope it's a record that somebody breaks. Harrison spoke to NPR in 2015 and explained his long history with blood donation. He had a lung removed when he was 14 in a procedure that required multiple blood transfusions. I was in the hospital for 3 months and I had 100 stitches, he recalls. After receiving 13 units, almost 2 gallons of donated blood, Harrison knew right away that he wanted to give back. I was always looking forward to donating right from the operation because I don't know how many people it took to save my life. I never met them, didn't know them. So as soon as he turned 18, he started donating blood and plasma and kept it up for years. Then researchers discovered that his plasma had a property that could save infants' lives. When a woman with Rh negative blood has an Rh positive fetus, it's known as Rh incompatibility. Her body can develop an immune reaction that attacks her baby's blood cells, and those antibodies put future children at risk. Then in the 1960s, scientists discovered that the same antibody, Rho immune globulin, also known in Australia as anti D, can be used to create a treatment. It saves babies that would otherwise get sick or die. And Harrison, it just so happens, had anti D in his bloodstream. A lot of it.
Wow.
Very few people have had these antibodies in such strong concentrations, says Gemma Falkenmeyer of the Australian Red Cross. His body produces a lot of them, and when he donates, his body produces more. Harrison was happy to hear he could help save babies' lives. He switched from giving blood to giving plasma as often as the service would allow him. He contributed to treatments for millions of Australian women, including his own daughter. Today, although researchers are testing methods to make the antibody in a lab, donors who produce the antibody are still the only source for anti D. I did not know
Oh,
that.
wow. Wow. Wow.
Such donors are rare these days, at least in developed countries. The antibodies are produced naturally by women with Rh incompatibility, but the same treatment that saves babies prevents mothers from developing the immune reaction. To fill
Wow.
the gap, some Rh negative men agree to become exposed to Rh positive blood so they can become donors. and a small number of people develop the antibodies after accidentally receiving a transfusion of the wrong kind of blood.
Oh,
That's probably what happened to Harrison, and he made the best of the mistake by voluntarily donating life saving plasma for years. He's one of 200 people in Australia who are known to create the antibody. Okay, I am absolutely mesmerized, and I have to tell you, I don't know that I would have the antibodies, but this is so weird because I said I wanted to start going back to donating blood at the Children's Hospital in LA
yes, we
this
just talked
summer.
about
Like,
that last week.
and I am A negative. So I am somebody that also would have to receive something like that if I were to be
Oh,
pregnant. Do you know what I'm saying?
wow.
Because of
Yes,
that.
yes.
And Sarah said, this helped me with both of my kids. So I don't know what her blood type is, but she clearly also has a thing where you have to be given a shot of this row gam or row D, whatever they're calling it, within a certain amount of time, like I think within 24 hours
Mm.
of finding, like, once they've discovered a certain amount of time within your pregnancy and also after you've delivered.
Birth? Okay, yeah.
Yes. It's
Interesting.
crazy. I'm blown away by this
Yeah.
and totally like mesmerized that somebody didn't die from getting the wrong type of blood. I mean, am I
Yeah,
crazy?
how did that happen? Oops.
Like, O positive is the universal donor. That doesn't mean if you're O positive, you can receive any blood. That's for darn sure.
Yes. For
That's
sure, sure. That'll
crazy.
kill you. I don't know. I just think it's so cool. I think that the fact that he continued doing it because he knew he was making a difference, like, makes him such an amazing human. And he gave till he
Yep.
wasn't allowed anymore. Like, I just think that's so cool. And
Over
just like I said,
60 years.
60 years. Just like I said last week, my dad and I both have had transfusions. And my dad, he
Yep.
gave for a long, long time. He gave,
Hmm.
as often as he could. And it's important, and it's something I think people kind of forget about, which is why I'm glad that
Yes.
offices have blood donor drives and stuff like that. Because if it's right in front of you, like for me, whenever I worked in an office back in the day of
Yep.
covered wagons, when they would have it, it would just remind me, and I go, "Oh yeah, of course I'll go give
Yeah.
blood." You know what I mean?
Exactly. You
You
just
just don't
walk
think
in.
about it. Yeah. But I'm like, why don't I think about that other times unless it's right in
Hmm.
front of my face? Because it is
I know.
life-saving. It's not a joke.
Totally.
Anyway, I love that. That precious
I
man.
love it too.
Mm. Okay, well, are you ready to move on up
Rave it up.
into raves? Yeah. You didn't
Oh,
did you tell
yeah.
us what kind of title you had for your corner? You didn't.
No, I forgot it was a golden oldies.
It was a golden oldies, yeah. Well,
Hmm.
thanks for letting us down. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
The man with the Midas touch. That's my Shirley Bassey
Ooh, I
impersonation.
like it. I like it.
Gold finger.
That is a good song though.
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm up first for raves. This is from our listener, from our
Yes.
friend Beck from Bloom with Beck. We adore her. Just one of the kindest people,
Yes.
gives workshops for women, retreats for women, constantly a positive and supportive human being, just a beautiful treasure of a human. Love her to death. So this is
Yes.
from Beck this week. This is seaglassstraws.com. It's a family owned, locally made in North Carolina business that makes these gorgeous glass straws made of recycled sea glass. You can get them custom etched. I'm planning on getting pink ones etched with bloom to sell and give out. They also give a 10% of their sales to Ocean Conservancy. Okay, a sea glass straw? Are you kidding? That was from Beck. So
Hmm.
I'm going to go to their website here and read you a little bit about them. They're made in the USA. They are shaped, bent, and etched by our hands right here in coastal North Carolina. Okay, again, this is theseaglasscompany.com. I'm going to read you their story from their website. I love it.
Hmm.
We are a nature loving family that have always had a passion for the ocean and marine life. In 2015, we made a dream come true and moved our family from Indiana to coastal North Carolina. Since moving, we've sprinkled our days with the salt life, playing at the beach, boating, family activities, and getting involved with local marine animal and environmental conservation programs. I'm going to show you a picture of their cute little family. Look at that.
Aw.
So
Love
cute.
it.
Yes. Our mission, put simply, is to save our oceans and sea life. We participate in the local marine stranding program, and it saddens us to see the plastic enrobing our marine life, causing fatalities and in the stomachs of stranded sea animals. Whether it was the primary
Mm.
cause of death or not, there is always plastic in the stomach and digestive tracts. We also play at the beach with our family and friends, and there's far too often something washing up on the sand that isn't meant to be there. In early 2018, we started using glass straws to reduce our impact on the plastic population issue. After a month, we did the math, and our family of 6 had thrown away almost 100 fewer straws in just 1 month. If we could
Mm.
help others make an impact with a little fun and creativity along the way, then we can move toward a more clean and safe world for future generations. Ocean Conservancy has been working for almost 50 years to protect our ocean from today's greatest global challenges. We donate 10% of all sales to Ocean Conservancy to extend our reach beyond the reducing the amount of the new plastics that enter our oceans and removing the trash that already exists. Please take the time to learn more about Ocean Conservancy and the International Coastal Cleanup and what you can do to help. So, that's a little bit about their company. If you go to their website, you can order their straws. They've got like a shop tab. You just pull it right down. And I got to tell you, I've had all kinds of straws. I've had bamboo, I've had silicone, because I've had metal, trying to the same because I do use straws a lot. And so I've
Mhm.
switched. I've never had a glass straw because I feel like it's too fancy for me and I'm not responsible enough. But this makes me feel like I might take the plunge. It
Yes,
gives
and I think
back,
they're
and
good
I've
for at home.
yes, and I will say, the softer things like bamboo and stuff like that, they do get
Mhm.
old. They soak up stuff and they break
Mhm.
and they get kinda gross.
Totally.
So I think I may do this. They're
Yeah.
not that expensive. They have the Long Shot, the Norm, Mr. Smooth. They have some on clearance for 350 and 450. I mean, that's a deal.
Wow.
Canvas
Yep.
sleeves so you can take them with you. They have a sea glass bottle that you can store them in if you want. So anyway, check them out.
Oh,
10% of your purchase goes to help Ocean Conservancy. That's wonderful. Thanks, Beck,
I
for
love
sharing that.
that.
Love it.
Yes. And thank you again to Beck because she also sent this in to us. And we talked about this way, way, way back when we first started the podcast. I swear, I think this was one of our raves from the very, very early days, but I love it. It is absolutely worth bringing up again. It has an amazing cause, and we love anything that gives back and has meaning and a purpose behind it. Also, they've expanded some of what they have now, and that made me really excited when I looked at their shop. This is
Yeah.
called Bitch Sticks, BITCHSTIX
Okay.
.com. B Sticks, if you go to their website. Ethical and effective lip and body balms that protect your body and promote an equitable and compassionate world.
Oh,
Also, they have sunblock sticks. I'm going to be ordering one of those
yeah,
because there's no
yeah.
leaking or anything else. And especially the one for your face, keep that in your bag at all
I
times.
need
We
to get my
all
son
need
one of
that.
those. He keeps getting burnt at recess.
Yes. It's so crazy right now that we're heading into summer.
Oh my God, I know.
So we will tell you really quick. On her journey to the Supreme Court, Ruth Bader Ginsburg became known among some of her male colleagues as bitch. When she found out, she responded, "Better a bitch than a mouse." I couldn't love RBG more. Okay, she's one of my all-time
Yes.
favorite people in history. Our
She
line of
is no
cruelty.
mouse.
No, she
She's gone
ain't.
and she's still not no mouse.
I know. May she rest in peace. Oh my God. Our line of cruelty free lip and body balms are backed by a mission. To awaken people to their self worth and to encourage them to live boldly and courageously. We do this in two ways: by putting bitch in the name of a product that soothes and restores. We're appropriating a word that has historically been used to inflict shame and attaching it to an agent of restoration. Also, by putting our money where our mouth is, Bitch Sticks donates to retailer nominated nonprofit organizations that support survivors of domestic abuse and sexual assault. Bitch Sticks is more than just a balm, it's a call to action to transform a bad word into a force for good. It's a one of a kind product that seeks to inspire, empower, and change lives for the better. I love it so much. I also love that they let their retailers, the people that sell this product, send in places. So wherever you are in the country, you could send in places that you nominate that are local and in your own area for them to
Yes.
give profits to. It's incredible. They have a list of where you can buy their products all over the country. It's fabulous product. Also, again, like I said, they not only have the lip balms, they have the SPF balms that are in a stick. So easy, so perfect. They also have those giant lipsticks, lip balms rather, that I'm a big fan of, that oftentimes they only make in men's products. And I love that they're
Oh,
making this for ladies.
yeah.
So please check them out. Bitchsticks, STIX.com. Incredible company. And right now you get a free matcha tea and aloe SPF lip balm on orders over $50. So definitely a great time to check them out. And Beck, thank you so, so much for sending in this fabulous raves
She
for us
always
today.
has wonderful, yeah, she always has
Yes.
wonderful
And she
recommendations for
walks the
things. Even
walk. She's
just
somebody
she does. If
who
you get a chance,
consciously,
yeah, I think her handle on Instagram is at Bloom with Beck.
yes,
I think
exactly.
that's right. If you wanna follow her, she's just a delightful follow, always
Mm-hmm.
positive, wonderful things,
Yes,
just a beautiful human. So thank you so much for those. Those
indeed.
are awesome.
Yes, thank
Jessica,
you. Dana,
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Ooh, is there anything oh, wait, tell everybody how to get a hold of us because this was such a lovely week having all this.
Yes, keep it coming, everybody.
Mhm.
Please find us at the Rants and Raves podcast at both Instagram and Facebook. You can also find us on TikTok at the Rants and Raves P. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the Rants and Raves podcast channel, please. Another plug, we've got Zinnia's Garden, so you can also go and
Oh,
give
thank
Ask
you.
Zinnia a follow.
Thank you.
And share that with your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends' kids. If you're like me and you're Mrs. Doubtfire, Mary Poppins, I don't have kids, but I share that stuff with everyone I know that has a kid. Um, what else? Send us a direct email, the Rants and Raves podcast at gmail.com, or you can go to our website, www.therantsandravespodcast.com. Really quick, by the time this episode happens, we will have been to and from Pennsylvania. Dana and I are doing a live recording of our podcast. So we will have lots of stories and fun to share with you, and possibly a little bonus episode of our live show on the road. So stay
Yeah,
tuned for that.
yeah. That's so fun. Yeah, we're gonna have a blast, I think.
Yes.
That being said, be patient with us. Jessica and I are both have like 16 different projects, 12 different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We're both Jessica's traveling like 7 times. I may be traveling a couple. So be patient with us
Mm-hmm.
if we all of a sudden aren't around one week. We're okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. We got you.
Yes. We're both filming stuff coming up. We have a lot going
Yes.
on.
A lot
So,
is going on, and it's all great things. We couldn't be happier. But just so
yes.
you know, sometimes it gets hard to be on time for Dana. Woo! Uh,
Mm-hmm. Not just
Jessica,
Dana, for Jessica.
I don't know. I feel like Jessica's always on the ball, and Dana's always like, "Did I make it in time?"
No.
Okay. So, Jessica, I adore you. Our listeners are the
I love
best.
you, lady.
I feel like a
Indeed.
broken record saying it every week. We're just so lucky. I
We
usually
are.
try to bring us a point to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're not. Today is a not serious kind of day, but this fascinated me. Did you know,
Love it.
Jessica, that an animal's yawn is based on how large their brain is. The bigger the brain, the longer they'll yawn. So, y'all, I'm giving y'all permission. Take a deep old breath. Get that yawn out. Ooh, feel it. It just means that your brain is huge.
Hilarious.
We'll be back next week. I love you, Jess.
Love ya. Bye
Bye.
bye.